The celestial maiden Urvaśī once fell deeply in love with Purūravas, son of Ida. When they were wed, she laid down 3 simple terms. Each day you shall wrap your arms around me 3 times, yet never force my consent in our bed. And remember, never let me glimpse you naked. This is the honor due to us divine women. For many blissful seasons they lived together, and Urvaśī bore his child. But the Gandharvas watched in growing alarm. She has lingered among mortals far too long, they murmured. We must devise some clever means to call her back to the heavens. She kept a gentle ewe, with 2 young lambs tethered by her bedside. One morning, the Gandharvas stole away the first lamb. "They're carrying off my child!" Urvaśī cried, her voice echoing through the halls as if no warrior or man remained to protect her. When the second lamb vanished in the same silent raid, her lament rose again, fierce and unrestrained. Purūravas, startled by her cries, sprang to his feet, naked and unhesitating, too quick to waste a moment in clothing himself. He gave chase across the plains, but the celestial band struck the sky with a crack of lightning. In that blinding flash, she saw him clearly, as though day had broken at midnight, and then, as suddenly, Urvaśī was gone. Broken-hearted, Purūravas roamed all over Kurukshetra until he came upon the lotus-strewn lake called Anyataplaksa. There, among the blooms, swan maidens swam, their forms shifting between bird and nymph. "That is the man with whom I once dwelt," one whispered, and together they revealed themselves in their true radiant shapes. He fell to his knees and implored her, "O my wife, whose heart is so cold, stay and speak with me. If our secrets remain unvoiced, joy will never return to our days." But she answered him as the dawn answers the night. "What solace is there in words that come too late? I have passed like the first light of morning. Go back to your home, Purūravas. I am the wind, and you cannot hold me." Mournful, he warned. "Today your lover will perish, lost to the furthest shore, his fate sealed by disaster's cruel hand and fierce wolves at his heels." She's cold as ever when she answers, "Purūravas, stray not so far into ruin. Let not wolves rend you. Trust not in women's love. Their hearts are half-tamed jackals." Yet even as her words cut him, compassion stirred within her. So she spoke again, softer. "When I lived hidden among mortals through 4 autumns, I lived on a single mouthful of ghee each day. Now I have eaten my fill. But come back on the year's last evening when our son is born, and for one night you shall lie with me once more." On the final night of the year, he returned as promised, and before him stood a palace of shimmering gold. Attendants welcomed him inside, and soon Urvaśī was brought to him, radiant as ever. She said, "Tomorrow the Gandharvas will grant you a boon. Be ready to choose." But he, still dazed with longing, replied, "You choose for me." She smiled gently and whispered, "Then let me choose this. Let me become one with you." At dawn, the Gandharvas appeared and offered him a boon. Without hesitation, he said, "Let me become one of you." They responded, "Among mortals, there is no sacred fire strong enough to lift a man into our realm through sacrifice, but we will give you the means." So they placed a sacred fire in a pan and said, "By offering your sacrifice into this fire, you shall become one of us." He took the fire and his newborn son and began the journey home. Along the way, he paused and left the fire in a forest clearing while he entered a village with a child. When he returned, the fire had disappeared. In its place, a peepal tree had sprung up, and beside it stood a mimosa tree where the pan had once been. Bewildered, he returned to the Gandharvas. They told him, "Now you must earn the fire anew. For 1 year, each day you must cook rice for 4 people, and each time you must anoint 3 people logs with ghee and use them to feed the fire. The fire that arises at the year's end will be the one that grants you our form." "But this is difficult," they added, "so here is another way. Make a fire drill. An upper stick from pipal wood, a lower stick from mimosa. The fire kindled between them will be the sacred flame." Then, reconsidering, they said, "Even that may be too difficult. Instead, take both the upper and lower fire sticks from the pipal tree. The fire born from that union will be the fire you seek." So he did as they instructed. He carved both fire sticks from pipal wood, labored with patience, and brought forth fire. Into this fire he offered his sacrifice, and through that sacred flame, Purūravas passed beyond the mortal realm and became a Gandharva.